Hello and welcome to the hour-long premiere of the Grand Rapids sub off of the Chicago division. We'll be looking at some different trains that run on this division: coal trains, manifest, and local. Let's get started. This is train M327, led by Union Pacific SD70AH 9007. The Grand Rapids sub starts in Bar Yard and heads to Grand Rapids, Michigan, Wyoming Yard. This train is usually around 500, 300, 400 axles long, and sometimes has some cool stuff on it. Here's some Pac-Man, and a little before, there was a Sioux Line hopper. Coming up, we'll also see a Burlington Northern hopper, and along with some old co-op hoppers. We'll also be looking at the inbound manifest here next after this train, along with a local and the coal train. Also want to mention, there is one more train that goes down this line that we will not be seeing today. That is G127, I believe. G127 usually runs pretty rarely and rarely ever goes out of the yard. Here comes our distributive power unit. Average CSX ES44AH, this one being numbered 31 and 39. Here comes the end of our train. The next train we'll be looking at is Daily Manifest M326. Here we are in Jenison, Michigan, waiting for M326. Leading the train today is BNSF AC 4400 CW 5709 and CSX SC40-2 8017. This train originates in the Chicago Bar Yard and heads into Wyoming Yard. It is the direct counterpart of M327, except 327 runs out of Wyoming Yard into Bar Yard. As this train ends, we get to see the local L301. L301 usually runs with an SD40-2 or SD40-3, and typically not anything else. L301 switches about 10 plants while it heads down the system all the way to Sawyer, Michigan from Wyoming Yard. All the way back. Here we are, C800 or C801. Leading the train today is the NSF 5673 AC 4400 CW. Heading to Port Sheldon, Michigan, which is the yard in the Consumers Energy Plant, West Olive. This train runs about 130 cars long and usually has an N-train DPU. They add extra engines to help them get up these Saugatuck hills. Here comes the distributed power unit here in a second. Running pretty high gear and probably either notch 6 or 7. Today's distributed power unit, SD70ACE. Number 8547. Next train is the Daily Amtrak. This is, I believe, the P30, I believe is what the symbol is. Running today with a SC44 Charger. This is one of 2 times I have seen this train. He usually runs with the Charger, however, the next time he had a D42. This was a short I posted a while ago. You can go watch it. At the time of passing, he was running about 65 miles an hour with 3 cars, 1 engine. Now we're on to our next train. This is the same train in a different spot in Jenison, Michigan. Notice the mixed-match consists to Fleet and the Midwest cars, along with the different cars. Nope, forgot what kind that is. Here's yet again L301. Running SD40-3 and GP40-2. He just pulled that center beam car out of the plant we're standing at right now. This is Granville along with the first plant. This is a very interesting train, just due to all of the different cars and the places it switches out. A little later in the video, I think the next clip even, we'll get to see the yard, or a section of the yard, that we get to see from the gas station. surrounding yard is easy to see from the gas station of like the west end of the yard. Here's our next train. This is the, I believe, the late night M326. Nope, this is the local again. This is him switching out the same plant. Fun fact, this is the same place we saw the Union Pacific come from. Warning, the video is very shaky due to the sped up nature of the video. Also, quick notice, when I tilt the camera up, there we go, you can see the mismatched number boards. I thought that was an interesting detail. So if you can't watch the video due to the shaky nature of it, here's what the whole rundown is. The SD40-2 and SD40-3 are going to go head in to the mill right there, the blue building, and pick up a singular center beam, empty. They take out loads usually, however today it was different for some weird reason. It was an empty. The crew gets out, the conductor gets out, flips the switch, and crosses the crossing down there where the last video was shot. Backs into the facility to pick up one singular center beam. Heads forward, heads across the crossing again, and stops for something, probably for the conductor to get on the back, so he can move. Conductor grabs down, flips the switch, and they reverse back over the crossing we're standing at, to go head back to their cars. For whatever reason, they decided to park the cars way at the east end, or west end of this siding. For whatever reason. They usually bring them up onto the main line, leave them there, go do their job, and bring it back. But today, I guess, was different. BC Rail center beam there. And the EMD duo powering this train.
Come up to those cars down there and see what he does. Okay, Mervin's coming back. Something good. Yeah, he's going back right. He's coming back down now. Yes. Pause for a second. Just wait for him to go closer.
Here he comes with the rest of his train.
So he's now coming with his consist of cars. Also notice in the background they do guy honking with the train. Also would like to point out one of the boxcars having okay graffiti on it. Looked pretty cool, honestly. That one right there, the colorful one right there. The next train is M326 again, with a YN2-8. Second locomotive in, facing backward, YN2-8. I was surprised to see this thing.
Dash 8!
Sadly, didn't get good video of it, though. Wish I did. This is probably one of the shorter 326s. Uncut, this was like 2 minutes long, but he was going decently slow too. Next train, M326, late night in the yard.
Alright, CSX, big ol' G-Vos coming
First
in.
leading, I believe, an ES40 DC, along with a either rebuilt AC44 or a Dash 8, or just a plain Dash 8. It's kind of hard to tell at night. Also, on a note, real quick, the really, really smoky engine on that GE second, very, very smoky. I don't know why either.
Locomotive is a rebuilt.
You can see it just starts billowing smoke as it's slowing down.
Rebuilt Dash 9, Dash 8, or AC44 maybe. Giving off a little smoke. Stopping to flip a switch. You can see the exhaust out of that GE.
I'm pretty sure that is a Dash 8, though. Might be mistaken. You can see as it's time lapse, smokes really badly and going into the yard. And it didn't take them long to get in either. Sounds like a car blowing in the yard. Yeah. We got all the cars here. I don't think there's anything too special on it. Oh yeah, Pac-Man. There's a few Pac-Mans. Pac-Man hoppers aren't incredibly a common sight, but you usually see quite a few of them on my line. Look at all the Pac-Man right there in the black hopper. Pretty sure are all Pac-Man. There might have been a sea lion hopper there that just passed by that I zoomed in on. Here is M326 in the daytime again, just outside of Hudsonville, somewhere between Hudsonville and Jenison. We see 994 leading, and a very special Operation Lifesaver unit trailing second. 4568, of course, because the CSX is only. I decided this wasn't very good video. It was okay, but I think it'd be cool to go chase this thing down in the yard, and that's what we did. So, we'll be doing that. All those hoppers there go to the same place, the ones that just passed. They go to a place called Boozy, B-U-Z-Z-I, I believe a cement mill. So, here we are in Wyoming right now. See 994 there sitting in the brush. He took a while to get into the yard. It was a long time. He didn't even fully go in when we left. He was maybe 10, 20 cars away from him being fully in when we left. So it took him a while. You can see there's the outline and the colors of 4568. I did get some pretty good pictures of this thing though. Can't complain about that. Fun fact, 994 and 4568 were paired together, and they, I think, went all the way down to Florida together. And took out the other way, went out the other way on a train, and then went through Detroit and then Fostoria, and I think somehow made it down to Florida together. I don't know the whole history behind it, but he was going slow. This was even sped up, so I think he's just getting somebody on in the yard there. That's my guess, since the cab door's open. Yeah, I see the guy getting there. Honestly, I like 4568. I think it's a really cool paint scheme, honestly. It's just very unique. Also, there's boxcar door open sitting right there, too. So yeah, there he is, 4568. Got some good pictures of him though. Let's watch this thing as it goes in the yard. It does speed up a little bit, but like I said, it does stop again. So there's that. I think he was running about 250 cars today. The only reason why I got to see this thing is because he stalled on the Saugatuck Hill. Yeah, there's some pipes there. Those cars do come quite a lot in my system. We got a couple of Pac-Man, I believe, up here. Maybe. If I'm not mistaken. There should be a couple. And also there's a Sioux Line boxcar on here somewhere too. There's the hoppers for the cement plant. Quite a few of them on this train. There's a Pac-Man right there. Iowa Interstate as well. More Pac-Man. Look at all those Pac-Man there. There's the Sioux Line. Those do show up once in a great while. Nice, they're the line too. Bunch of tank cars, and I believe that's pretty close to the end of this one. Started slowing down here, and then he stopped, and we waited for 10 minutes, and he didn't leave, so we decided, hey, let's hit the road. Now we're on to Holland, with a YN 2-liter with a Heritage unit, 1988 or 1982 trailing, CSX 388 leading. Fun fact, I have seen 388 before this at Fostoria. And the ironic thing is that the day that we were in Fostoria, just before we got there, CSX 1982 also went through the same day 388. Or 338, or is it 388? I'm not sure. There's the end of that thing. Now we're in Port Sheldon, where the coal train goes. On the right-hand side, you're going to see an image of it popping up right now, seeing the DTE switcher, or the consumer's switcher, sorry. You can also see, I believe that, I don't know what that is, the white cable. Kind of weird, honestly. Maybe it's probably some sort of air brake line or something to hold the cars there. But here's the yard a little later. The consumer switchers. I like the blue ones better than the other ones. And then we also see I believe Jevo and an Ace sitting there. So, yeah, let's watch this thing. I believe 2 ES44C4s or ES44ACs, I think. Anyway, they're backing into the yard, and we're getting on their train for the day. There's a Y up there on the track he's going down. You can see there's a turnout there. That's a Y. He can turn his engine around and head out the other direction. You can also see the empties and loaded coal hoppers as well. This was fun. Here we are chasing local L301 with some maintenance OA equipment with an SD40-2 leading. Enjoy. Quick note also, we started the trip off in Jenison and we're heading all the way near Zealand, so driving on Chicago Drive, chasing this thing for a while. I didn't even know it had the most stuff on until we actually saw it. So I also see the 2428 sitting there too. About a year of service on our line almost. That 2428. He's been here a long time. And I think he even is still here. He's just not in service right now. You can see the maintenance and waste stuff down there. I believe they were this day replacing some ties down in the Hartford, Michigan area. They dropped those cars there. You also can see a flat car specially built to have an excavator come down on it to sit there and kind of work the hopper or the gondolas. And these are kind of weird too because of the like grading and stuff. Perfect for maintenance and waste service. They're just kind of cool, honestly. And I think they have little ramps on them so the excavator can drive over them easier. Also, I just want to say, that after the John Deere excavator there, a weird pink hopper, not pink hopper, pink gondola. I've never seen a pink gondola before, or a pink rail car for that matter. Unless it's a really faded, like, Canadian Pacific or something. You can see there's the Deere excavator, CSX, and the flat car there. Yeah, now we're gonna go catch up with the engines again. We're in, I believe, Hudsonville now, so. About halfway done, so that's cool. I believe after this we get more shots of the manifest, or the local again. So here's the last shot of this local for now. Pretty close to Zealand. There's maintenance away stuff again. I think pretty cool stuff there. Alright, with that train gone now, so you get to see local again. Yet again, being led by the good old 24-28. Along with 4057. And a Pan Am boxcar, that was pretty cool too. I did catch another train this day, however I don't know where the footage went, so that's nice. To end off this video, we have a whole bunch of footage with M326. This is Jenison, Michigan. ES44AH and a rebuild AC44. Now on to Granville, Michigan, where a rebuild AC44 leads M326, along with a DPU ES44. Here comes 326 again with a Gevo leading. And I believe another Gevo or actually no, a rebuild along with an SD40-2 again. Now on to yard ops. This stuff is really cool. Here we see the yard switcher going in to go get some cars. GP40-2 or GP40-3. Here comes our next train. This is the local L301, getting his cars ready. Also note, yet again, 2428 on the train. Waiting for this train to clear, we see Marquette Rail Z151. Waiting to clear with 4 EMDs. Ironically, 3408 we have seen 3 times at this point because of the incredibly small roster that Marquette Rail has. You can see here he comes there, 3408 leading, along with a ex-Union Pacific and a couple more things for our SD40-2s for Marquette Rail. Here's a local yet again, pulling out with some cars. Here we see something special. This is W003. Direct geometry train with 9969 leading, which is an X-Mark locomotive. This thing runs on the line about every year. Once, at least. Now we're onto a manifest train with some unique cars onto it,
I think get off the
along
tracks.
with some birds on the tracks, because why not? The last train of the video probably would be the longest train that has ever traversed this route. 660 axles. With 3 engines leading, 1 DPU. As this last train passes, thank you guys so much for watching and helping me get to 700 subscribers. Thank you all. And goodbye.